Welcome back to Prince Bike Update. If you're into cruisers, classic styling, and bulletproof reliability, then today's review is definitely for you. Because we're taking a deep dive into the all-new 2025 Honda Shadow 750A, a name that's been a staple in the middleweight cruiser segment for decades, and in 2025, it's back with a fresh attitude, enhanced features, and the same soul that made it a fan favorite. So what makes the 2025 Honda Shadow 750 stand out in today's competitive cruiser market? Let's find out. First off, let's talk about what's under the hood today, or rather, under the tank. Powering the Shadow 750 is a 745cc liquid-cooled, SOC 52-degree V-twin engine. This is a proven setup. Honda didn't try to reinvent the wheel here. What they did instead was refine the experience. This engine is incredibly smooth, torquey in the low and mid-range, and delivers just the right amount of grunt for city cruising, weekend rides, and even longer highway tours. You're getting around 44 horsepower and 64 Nm of torque. But it's not about the numbers. It's about how the bike feels. And the Shadow 750 feels solid. The torque comes on early, and thanks to the 5-speed gearbox, it pulls cleanly through the gears. Whether you're riding solo or with the pillion, the Shadow handles itself with ease. New for 2025 is a slightly revised fuel injection system that improves throttle response and helps with fuel economy. The engine is now Euro 5+ compliant, which means it meets the latest emission standards without sacrificing performance. That's always a welcome touch. Let's move on to Design A, because let's face it, you're not buying a cruiser just for the spec sheet, you're buying it for the style, and the 2025 Shadow 750 does not disappoint. Honda has leaned hard into the classic American cruiser look with this one. You've got those signature long, low lines, beefy fenders, and chrome in all the right places. The teardrop fuel tank holds 14 liters of fuel, and it flows beautifully into the seat and rear fender. It's sleek, it's muscular, and it absolutely looks the part. The 2025 model comes in two striking new color options: a midnight blue metallic and matte steel gray, both of which complement the classic cruiser profile while giving it a more modern edge. The blacked-out engine, exhaust pipes, and wheels offer a nice contrast to the chrome accents, especially around the headlamp and forks. One of the standout visual upgrades for 2025 is the redesigned LED headlight. It's brighter, more energy efficient, and adds a modern touch to the front end. The rear tail lamp and turn indicators have also been updated with LED units, which improve visibility and blend better with the bike's aesthetics. In terms of ergonomics, the Shadow 750 is all about comfort. The seat height sits low at just 25.9 inches, about 658 millimeters, making it incredibly approachable for riders of all heights. The forward-set foot pegs and wide handlebars give you that relaxed, feet-forward cruiser posture that's perfect for long rides. And trust me, it's a very comfortable place to be. Honda has refined the seat cushioning for 2025. And it makes a noticeable difference on longer trips. The suspension setup is classic but effective. A 41mm front forks and dual rear shocks with 5-step preload adjustability. It's tuned more for comfort than sportiness, obviously, but it handles bumps well and feels planted on twisty roads and highways alike. The 2025 version also benefits from slightly tweaked damping for improved ride quality. Braking duties are handled by a single 296mm disc up front and a 180mm drum at the rear. Yes, you heard that right, a rear drum brake, which some might see as dated, but it works well in the cruiser context. And the front disc is more than adequate for this bike's performance level. ABS is standard now for both front and rear, offering peace of mind and better control during emergency stops. Now, let's talk about how the Shadow 750 rides. This bike is all about smooth, laid-back cruising. It's not trying to be a sport bike or a cafe-tilde copyright racer. It knows what it is and embraces that identity fully. The throttle response is smooth, gear changes are buttery, and the V-twin rumble is just enough to give you that satisfying cruiser feel without waking the neighbors every time you ride. Handling is surprisingly nimble for a cruiser of this size. It tips into corners with confidence, and while it's not the bike you'd take canyon carving, it doesn't feel like a barge either. It finds that sweet spot between relaxed and responsive, which is exactly what you want in a mid-weight cruiser. Technology-wise, Honda keeps things simple. The analog speedometer is paired with a small digital display that shows odometer, trip meter, and fuel gauge. There's no ride modes or fancy electronics, and honestly, that's a plus for many cruiser riders who prefer minimal distractions and just want to enjoy the ride. As for weight, the 2025 Shadow 750 tips the scales at around 247 kilograms wet. It's no lightweight, but it carries its weight low and feels well balanced when moving. Pushing it around in tight spaces takes a bit of effort, but once you're rolling, it's smooth sailing. Now let's talk price, and this is where things get interesting. The 2025 Honda Shadow 750 comes in at an estimated $8,499 or around a superscript 19.58 lock in India, ex-showroom, expected. That's competitive in its segment, especially considering Honda's legendary reliability and low maintenance costs. It's also worth noting that the Shadow 750 is a favorite among customizers. The simple frame, exposed engine, and classic cruiser proportions make it a perfect base for bobber or chopper builds. If you're into customization, this is a blank canvas that begs to be personalized. So what's the bottom line? The 2025 Honda Shadow 750 is not a revolutionary bike, and that's kind of the point. It's a refined, reliable, stylish cruiser that stays true to its roots while adding just enough modern touches to stay relevant. It's perfect for newer riders stepping into the cruiser world, and for seasoned bikers who want something dependable, stylish, and fun to ride. It may not have the brute force of a larger V-twin or the tech overload of some modern cruisers, but what it offers is a timeless riding experience, smooth, relaxed, and utterly enjoyable. If you're looking for a middleweight cruiser that gets the job done without any drama, the 2025 Honda Shadow 750 should absolutely be on your short list. Thanks for tuning into Prince Bike Update. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe for more in-depth reviews, and let me know in the comments when you take the Shadow 750 over a Rebel 1100 or Royal Enfield Super Meteor. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, ride safe and keep the rubber side down.